Hey there everyone, it's Retro Martin and it's time for another RPG challenge update, this time with number 8. Now as I said in the last video, if you actually watched it, if you didn't, then you'll find out what I said very shortly. The next game that I'm going to talk about is an MMO. Now I've been a relatively long time Final Fantasy XIV player. I didn't play the original because I didn't game on PC at the time, and I didn't get it when it came out on PS3 or 4 originally. However, my wife picked it up for me, of all people, because I was being talked about it by some friends at a wedding. She was obviously listening in. Didn't listen well enough, of course, because I said I didn't really want to play it, but that's by the by. She ended up buying it for me. I ended up really enjoying it, so, you know, well done to her. And that must have been Christmas 2014, back when PlayStation ended up having its infamous DDoS attack, so I couldn't even play it for a couple of days, which was absolutely brilliant as usual. But this isn't actually the original game, because obviously that would be me doing an RPG challenge in the past. What I am here to talk about is the latest expansion, the 5th one, Dawntrail, which came out on July the 2nd. Now I got it in early access, because obviously being a long-time player and all that, I've generally had early access for them anyway, because I pre-ordered them. Really enjoyable game. The story is pretty good overall. Obviously the main storyline that they were going after finished, so they're sort of starting up a new one now, in a way, with some returning characters. So you're not expecting it to hit the amazing heights of the last few, which were outstanding, but all round it was a very good one. I'd probably still say story-wise it was about as weak as Stormblood, which was the weakest expansion of the original lot. Although I quite enjoyed Stormblood because of its aesthetic and everything else. This one leans very heavily into the American style, with the continent of Tuliolal basically being the entirety of America in some fashion, which is pretty good. It's like you can clearly see the what the areas are modelled after, like Shaloni being Texas and Mexico basically. But yeah, there's some really good new areas. I felt the first half of the game was decent. The storyline was all right. I don't like some of the new characters, to be honest with you. They're all perfectly well acted. They all do their thing brilliantly. I just didn't really gel with the characters very well, especially the new main NPC, Wook Lamat, who I found to be incredibly irritating, but that's more a personality thing than anything else. And the fact that she was basically pushed on you every single chance you got over characters that you've had years to bond with. But that's by the by. When the game enters its second act, I feel it steps up a notch with a lot more themes around it, and the new antagonist, without trying to spoil too much, is absolutely fantastic. I'm hoping we do see more of them. In some capacity, and the amount of Final Fantasy IX and 11 references in the game are absolutely stupendous, those being two top tier Final Fantasy games in my opinion. I played 11 for a very long time, so any references to 11 are going to be a win with me. But there's a lot of new stuff to do. They've certainly varied up the gameplay a little bit, and the new music is really good. I think thematically some of the music doesn't fit the areas it's in, but the actual music itself is brilliant. And the combat is, as ever, as good as it's always been, although I do feel that my main job, which is Summoner, was done dirty a little bit. We had plenty of summons they could have picked, and they end up giving us another rendition of Bahamut. Why? I have no idea, when Alexander and all these other ones were right there, but whatever. That's by the by. Anyway, I'm including this as the part of the RPG challenge because I completed the storyline. I've done pretty much all of the endgame fights, apart from like the non-optional extreme ones, because I never do those straight away. But yeah, overall, really good expansion. There's plenty of cool stuff in there. I think they've done a really good job with it. Some of the new raids that released a few weeks ago, absolutely stupendous. Like, I've really enjoyed those, which reminds me I need to do them this week, but I haven't got round to it. But yeah, so that's RPG number 8 for the RPG challenge. Thanks very much for listening. I'm already about 80–90% of the way through RPG number 9, so look forward to that one. We're going back in time a little bit with that one, so look forward to it, and I'll see you in the next video.